Hi, I'm James McGuire, and today we're talking about how you can use AIOps in your own business. Certainly a topic for which there's plenty of questions and challenges and concerns. To discuss that, I'm joined by two thought leaders. With me is Ali Siddiqui, Chief Product Officer at BMC Software. Ali, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, James. Delighted to be here.
All right. Also with me is Jason Bloomberg, President at Intellex. Jason, hello to you.
Hi, how's it going? Great to be here.
And Intellex, we talked about this. Intellex is your own research firm, correct?
Yeah, we're an industry analyst firm focused broadly on enterprise digital transformation. So AIOps is just one of many of the topics that we talk about.
All right, great. Well, let's talk about AIOps, but first I want to thank everyone who's viewing and listening. Thank you so much for showing up. We totally appreciate it. And we really appreciate your comments and your questions. So send that to us anytime. You know Zoom well enough since we've all been stuck at home these months. You know where the Q&A button is down there. So you just go ahead and click on that button and send us a question. You don't have to wait until the end. Really, any time is good. So AIOps, I guess I want to ask you, Jason and Ali, what is AIOps? But I think part of the confusion there is, what is artificial intelligence? I'll give my own 25-cent, definition of AI, and then perhaps the two of you can add, what is AIOps? So I see AI as a system or software architecture that can actually learn on its own. I mean, without human assistance. So you start the algorithm, you invent the system, it can learn and grow and adapt without more human assistance. So a lot of power there. Some might say dangerous as well, but certainly businesses are using it for gain. So if that's AI, what is AI ops? Ali, I sense you know what it is. So please explain to us, what is AI ops?
Oh, sure. Thanks, James. And first of all, I want to wish everyone that I hope everybody and their families are safe and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Totally.
really appreciate everybody who's joining us.
Absolutely.
So I would say literal meaning, as you said, is artificial intelligence for operations.
Mm-hmm.
And artificial intelligence is really a branch of computer science focused on machine pattern recognition and statistical techniques to analyze the environment. So in AIOps case, it'll be analyzing the IT operations environment, and then using that to make decisions which help automate and do better some of the use cases that operations does day to day, whether it's root cause, MTTR, or predictive IT, forecasting, or alarm noise detection, all those activities or automation, intelligent automation, applying really, I would say, applying machine learning. And really, machine learning is just the application of artificial intelligence to a domain. So AI application is machine learning. So machine learning using, which is about statistical techniques and pattern matching algorithms to a IT ops environment to make intelligent automation and automation decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And just to give context, I would say going forward, more and more AIOps will be about being able to see things before they happen out in the horizon. Now, I know that's nirvana. It sounds a little bit too much, but really this is a key technology which really moves forward the needle towards digital transformation for IT ops.
Well, before I even ask Jason for his thoughts, let me make sure that I clear up my own thoughts on the process. So sometimes when I hear AI ops, I sort of mentally think, oh, it's AI for IT operations, which may be part of what you said. But if I want to simplify it down, is that accurate, or is it so much larger than that?
My opinion is, well, there's a lot of hype. So,
right.
And there is a hype cycle, and there's obviously potential. So don't get me wrong, but doesn't mean there's potential. There's huge potential here.
Right.
But
sure.
Right now, what I would say is the focus really to make it work is more, I would tone it down.
You would, okay.
It is a
All
lot
right.
more. Yes, it can be a lot more. That's the way I would answer it. But right now, I think vendors like us, when I look at the autonomous digital enterprise journey of our customers, it really is about where they are today and doing some of the basic use cases. But
Gotcha.
Definitely, that's just my opinion. I would assume Jason also has his own.
Jason, what's your take? If someone just ran up to you in the street, just a regular person, and wanted to know, please explain this, AI ops mystery to me. What the heck is it?
Well, it's actually, for better or worse, a Gartner term, and
Uh-huh.
Gartner loves inventing terms. And
Right.
sometimes they stick, a lot of times they don't. They just make them up all the time.
Right.
And it originally meant algorithmic infrastructure for operations, and nobody had a
Oh,
clue what they meant by that, and it just didn't make any sense at all. So,
it
so
wasn't
Gartner
even
quick.
AI. Originally,
It,
they
it
didn't.
wasn't even artificial intelligence to begin with. It was
Wow.
algorithmic infrastructure.
And what year do you think they coined that particular term?
I don't know. It's a few years ago. I don't know,
Okay. Yeah.
3, 4 years ago,
Several. All right.
and
All right. Yeah.
but it didn't catch on. So they quickly sort of reversed themselves and said, well, AI, everybody thinks it means artificial intelligence. So that's really what we meant all along, and it's artificial intelligence for operations.
Okay.
But as such, it's really Gartner's effort to take these two things, right? We have the IT operations management, or ITOM, and we have artificial intelligence, AI, and it's like, well, these fit together somehow, so let's stick them together
Hmm.
and see what the vendors do about it. And when that happens, you end up with a bunch of different things happening, right? So first of all, it's primarily about machine learning. There are other kinds of artificial intelligence. There's natural language processing, which does play a small role. There's deep learning. That's part of the image recognition technology that
Hmm.
plays less of a role. It's primarily machine learning, so it's not even all of AI. But even in that context, it's different things, right? So some of it is anomaly detection. Some of it is pattern recognition of other sorts, or predictive analytics, and other things we'll talk about, on this webinar. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
so it ends up being sort of this collection of different capabilities, where AI is, has particular uses for the IT operations management space. So it's coalescing into a real market, but it didn't start out that way. It really started out as sort of let's stick some terms together and see what sticks.
Hmm. Well, all right. So I hear you use the phrase AI for IT operations. I definitely heard that in there. So am I correct in thinking that is primarily what it is, or is there this larger sense like AI ops is going to help us run the entire enterprise, including, the HR folks and the sales folks, and it's going to AI ops is this larger, so almost cloudy kind of a thing, which helps us run the entire enterprise, or is that too big for the idea?
Well, I would say that 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 may be the case indirectly, given that today's modern digital enterprise is software empowered. So if you
Hmm.
look at a digitally transformed organization, software helps them connect to customers across the organization,
Hmm.
and as such, making sure that software is working properly and is robust and meets the business need is a
Hmm.
core part of now the business priority, right? The business now cares as much as IT cares. So in that
Hmm.
sense, yeah, AI ops is going to be supporting this vision of the digital enterprise, but it's still really about IT operations, right? It's about making sure that our technology infrastructure is behaving properly, and that we're able to identify problems and fix them, or ideally prevent problems from occurring altogether.
Hmm. Okay.